Okay, so moving right along, the next thing we're going to work on is this right here, the supercharge section with these three items, which on bigger screens are going to be in a horizontal row. We also have these logos here, and then we have this part, which is very similar to what we have in the hero, and then the footer. So that's what we have left. So let's go right below this section, and let's say this is going to be the supercharge section. We'll say section ID supercharge, and we're going to use our section container here. Let's go ahead and do that, and then we also have margin Y 20. Okay, so we have basically the same thing, the heading, paragraph. So let's do H3. We don't have to add anything to it because of what we've already customized that. And let's say supercharge your workflow. And then we have our paragraph. Actually, let's see. I think we can just grab. Let's see, is this going to be the same exact thing? No, not exactly. So we do have, let me just put the ending tag here. So we do have margin bottom is going to be 16 for this. And then let's see, we have text XL, MX Auto. Everything else, though, I think is going to be the same. So, you know what we could actually do is, let's say, actually, let's go here and let's say section, we'll call it section content. And let's see, it's going to be everything. We'll do everything except the margin bottom. So I'll grab these. We'll say apply. I didn't plan on doing this, so I'm just kind of doing this on the fly. But let's get rid of the margin bottom because that can be different. But I think all these other things are going to be the same for all those paragraphs. So let's go ahead and save that, and then everything except the margin bottom we can get rid of, and let's say section dash content for that. And then I'll go ahead and grab the text. Let's see, where's the text that's going in there? Oh, it's actually not much, just that. Okay, and let's check it out. So supercharge your workflow, then we have the text. So we should be able to take this section container and all the paragraphs, we can change it aside from the margin bottom. So we'll just keep that, paste that in, not section container, section content. Yeah, section content. So I'll just copy that. All right, then let's go up here. And let's see, what else do we have in here? No, we didn't do the H5 yet. That's something else we could do. But let's find the other paragraphs that are similar. Like this one right here. This has a margin bottom of 24, but all the rest is the same. So I'll get rid of all that. We'll use section content. And this is completely optional, but I just think it makes it a little cleaner. Now this doesn't even have, oh, it does have margin bottom 10. So let's paste that in, and then, wait a minute, is the text the same? Is it 2XL? No, this one is actually text XL. So what we could do is still use it, but just leave the 2XL on there. So let's see, that's going to be this. So let's save it, and yeah, it's the same. Good. All right, so what else could we do here? You could do the buttons, but I'm not gonna just create a bunch of custom classes. You guys can if you want. My goal is really just to kind of show you what you can do and give you some ideas. But yeah, let's continue on here. So we have the H3, we have the paragraph, and then we want to have under that, let's take a look here. Then we have these items. All right, so under the paragraph, because this is going to still go within this section, let's say this is going to be the items container. All right, so our items container is going to be flex and flex call to begin with, and then items dash center, and let's do justify dash between, so the remaining space will go in between, and then space on the Y items we'll do 16, and of course medium and up we want to make it a flex row, and on medium and up we want the space on the Y items to be 0, and let's do also on medium screens the space between the X items will be 12. So that's our items container. Then let's go ahead and say this is going to be item 1. So let's do a flex here. This is basically around this item right here. So flex and flex dash call, and then items dash center, and then space between Y items 5. And then we have our image and IMG, and the class, I'm just going to use a margin bottom class for that, and then the image itself is going to be the icon blacklist SVG, and again you can put the SVG directly in here if you want. All right, so let's take a look at that. So we have the image, then under that is going to be the H5, which I believe is going to have the same styling as the other H5s up here. So yeah, we have margin bottom 2, text XL. Yeah, so they're going to be the same as these H5s. So what I'll do is grab these styles, and then let's copy those or cut those, and then take it off of the H5s. So there's 3 of them here. This is I believe the features section. Take them off here as well. Okay, and then if I save those, then we look at the features, you can see now they're smaller. But what we can do is the same thing that we did with the H3s. We can go ahead, excuse me, and just apply those classes, save, and there we go. So now when we put our H5s down here, we don't have to add any classes. So let's see, we have our image, and then let's do H5 and say create blacklists, and under that we just have a paragraph with max width dash medium and text dash grayish blue, right? And I'm just going to grab the text for that real quick. Okay, and now we have our first item, and the other 2 items are going to be similar. So what we'll do is just grab this div with the comment, paste these in, and this one's going to be item 3, and this one's going to be item 2, and then we just want to change up the icons. So the second one here I believe is going to be icon text, and then the third one is going to be icon preview. And then for the text, the second one is going to be plain text snippets. And for the text, for the paragraph text, let me just paste that in. And then down here, this H5 is going to be sneak preview. And then I'm going to grab that text. Okay, save that, and now we should have our 3 items. And if I make this bigger, then we have them going in a row. Okay, so everything looks pretty good. Now we just have these logos, this part, and the footer. So we'll go ahead and do those in the next video.